Hello friends, welcome back to Devanand Online Institution of Fundamental Sciences Junior, and today we are looking into biology and the last thing in leaves. Okay, we learned about leaf modifications in the last class and today we are going to continue it. Okay, so today we are going to learn about insectivorous plants and leaf modifications for reproduction. Okay, so first of all, let us look into insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants. Okay, insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants. So can you see this picture? And you'll be thinking, what is this random jug doing here? Okay, so this is just a random jug. And can you see these two structures? These two structures. These structures are called pictures. Okay, not pictures, it is pictures. Okay, it is pictures. And this particular plant is called the pitcher plant. Okay, the pitcher plant. So what are pictures? Pitcher, what does it mean? Pictures, this is this thing, a jug. Okay, pitcher shaped means jug shaped. Okay, so pictures, they are just these jugs. So when the leaves, they are modified into pictures, means jug shaped. Pitcher means it is jug shaped. Can you see the similarity between these two? You can see how the same jug shape is there for this particular pitcher as well. So in these plants, the pitcher plants, the leaves are modified into pitchers. Okay, and these pitchers, they have a particular type of juice inside them. Okay, they have a particular type of juice inside them. Okay, but these juices, they are evil. Okay, these juices, they release odors and try to attract insects. Now we are learning about carnivorous plants, right? So carnivorous plants, they always try to attract insects. For what? Why does carnivorous plants attract insects? Because these carnivorous plants, they usually live in nitrogen deficient areas. Nitrogen is a mineral that is really needed for the plant. Okay, nitrogen is really useful, but in certain areas there are not enough nitrogen for the plant. So what does it do? So these plants, they attract insects and capture them and eat them. Okay, they would digest these insects. So cruel. Okay, so these juices, they would release odors, and for example, a fly will be coming and it will be sitting on this part. Okay, sitting on the opening part. Can you see this part? So usually insects, they come and sit on this part. So really what happens is that the pitcher trap works here. The insect, it falls inside the pitcher. Okay, so the insect, it just falls inside the pitcher and there are juices inside it. I said, right? These are not only used to attract them. These juices secreted by the walls of the pitcher plant, these walls secrete these juices. Okay, and these juices, they can digest and take away all the nutrients of this insect and it will be killed. Okay, but before that, when the insect come and sit over here, do you know what happens? It just slips into the pitcher plant. And can you see this particular lid? This is a lid. Okay, can you see this structure? It is a lid and it closes. That is the second picture. The lid closes. The lid is closed in this picture. And what can the insect do? It is trapped. The trap is a huge success. So there is nothing the insect can do and it is trapped, and this is how the pitcher plant captures insects. And now we are going into another type of insectivorous plants, okay, or carnivorous plants, the famous Venus flytrap. So can you see this weird thing? Okay, so this is really weird, and this is not how it actually looks like. Okay, the Venus flytrap, this is just when it is really flattened. Okay, when the Venus flytrap, the leaf, when the Venus flytrap leaf is taken and flattened, you will get something like this. Okay, but I will be showing you the picture of the real Venus flytrap in the plant. Okay, so can you see, this is a Venus flytrap plant, and can you see those spiky structures? Those are really the leaves. Okay, the leaves which help in capturing insects. Okay, so you have seen the picture now, and now do you notice any similarities? Okay, first of all, you will be noticing these fine hairs, right? The fine hairs, and really the midrib, really this is a leaf, right? We are learning about modifications in leaves. Yeah, this midrib is really modified into a hinge. Okay, a hinge. For example, if I take my hands, okay, for example, these are the two flaps of the Venus flytrap, and if I join it over here, you can see that with the middle it can move like this, right? With the middle it can move like this, it can close and open, right? So that movement is allowed by the hinge. So the movement in your door, it is also caused due to the hinge. The hinge allows that movement. Okay, so the Venus flytrap, the midrib is modified into a hinge, such that when an insect sits on the trap, it can just close it. Okay, so when the insect sits on the leaf, the leaves shut. Okay, the trap just shuts like this. Okay, that's why the midrib is a hinge here. Okay, and can the insect just escape from this? No, that's why for further security, it has these fine hairs, such that there is no way the insect could escape. And then, as usual, again the walls of the Venus flytrap will secrete juices and digest the insect for its nutrient needs. Okay, the walls will secrete juices to digest. So this is Venus flytrap. Okay, and it is almost similar to the pitcher plant in terms of the mode of nutrition and all. It doesn't look the same, right? But these both are insectivorous plants, means they capture insects for food. Okay, not for food, for their nitrogen needs. Okay, for their nitrogen needs. And next, let us look into vegetative propagation by leaves, or leaves modified for reproduction. What do you mean by vegetative propagation? So we know that flowers, they are the reproductive parts of the plant. So the reproductive parts of the plant are the flowers. Okay, so the flowers help in reproduction, but in certain cases, as in science, exceptions. So in certain cases, do you know what happens? Really, the vegetative parts, there are two types of parts, vegetative parts and reproductive parts. And the parts which are not helping in reproduction are the vegetative parts. For examples, we have the understem, we have the root, we have the leaves. Okay, so the leaves, the stem, the understem and the roots. So these all are the vegetative parts. Flowers are not vegetative parts. Okay, flowers are reproductive parts. And if you see, in certain cases, like the striking example, the most important example is the bryophyllum. Okay, the leaves of the bryophyllum plant. The bryophyllum. The plant is called bryophyllum. Okay, and this is how its normal leaf, when you take the plant home and look at the leaf, this is how the leaf will be. You won't notice anything special, but if you just look, there are tiny buds in these notches. Okay, and the notches, they have tiny buds. Can you see? We learned about the apical buds, then the axillary buds, right? So in the bryophyllum leaf, we have buds at the notches. Notches are just the base and tears in the leaves margin. Okay, for example, this is a magnified view of this, and you can see that there is a bud like this at the notches. Okay, so this is how the leaf margin in the bryophyllum plant is. But when the plant is alive, when the leaf is alive and when the leaf is completely functioning, these buds are dormant. Okay, dormant means they are inactive. Okay, they won't do anything, they would just stay. Okay, just like a seed, unless it gets the conditions to grow. Okay, they would just remain inactive. But one day, anyway, the leaf would wither and fall off, right? Anyway, one day the leaf would fall off. Okay, that time the leaf was of no use. So these buds on contact with moisture in the soil. So these buds will be in contact with water, moisture in the soil, and you know plants need water to grow. So when the leaf falls down into the soil, you know what happens? The buds, they gain energy, they become active, and they start to grow into various plantlets. They will be having small roots and small shoots, and each of these plantlets will grow into an individual bryophyllum plant. Okay, so this is reproduction. What is happening is reproduction. What is happening here? It is actually reproduction, because the plant is multiplying itself. Okay, so for example, here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plantlets. So there will be 10 bryophyllum plants that are growing. So this is another modification of leaves, and in the next video we will be looking into flowers. So that's it for today. Thank you.